We're following breaking news. The Los Angeles Mayor's Office and the California Governor's Office both confirm actor and director Rob Reiner and his wife Michele have died in a, quote, tragic event. Rob Reiner, the veteran director behind a long list of classic American films, was found deceased inside his own home in Los Angeles, along with his wife. The two bodies were discovered in a closed living space, a detail that immediately pushed his passing beyond the bounds of ordinary sad news and quickly turned it into a case that shocked the American public. Within a short period of time, the case was transferred by authorities into a criminal investigation, with homicide detectives stepping in. While police continued to withhold key conclusions, information believed to be connected to the final hours before the tragedy began to spread unexpectedly. Few could have imagined that, before the fateful moment, Rob Reiner and his wife were reportedly facing tense and deeply unsettling moments inside what had long been considered the safest place of all, their own home. So, what truly happened behind the doors of the Brentwood house in the days leading up to that fateful date? On the afternoon of December 14, 2025, at approximately 3:30 p.m. local time, the Los Angeles Fire Department received an emergency call to the upscale residence of Rob Reiner and his wife, Michele Singer Reiner, located in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles, California. When rescue teams arrived at the scene, what awaited them was not a routine emergency, but a tragic tableau that forced even seasoned first responders to reflect on the most harrowing moments they had encountered in their careers. Police confirming 2 people found dead inside this Brentwood home. I'm going to step back for you so you can see just what we're looking at here. About a block away, this is off of South Chadbourne Avenue. According to sources from the Associated Press, rescue personnel were led inside by a family member and then discovered 2 motionless bodies in the main living area of the house. The body of the 78-year-old man was later confirmed to be director and actor Rob Reiner, a figure known worldwide for his enduring contributions to Hollywood cinema. Beside him was his wife, Michele Singer Reiner, 68, a photographer who had been his companion for many years. Both were found with severe sharp force injuries that investigators initially stated clearly indicated this was not an accident, but a direct attack carried out within their private living space. Officers from the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, arrived at the scene within minutes, sealing off the entire area surrounding the Reiner family's multi-million-dollar home. The Robbery Homicide Division, the unit responsible for the city's most complex and serious cases, took over the investigation from the outset. According to LAPD statements, the case was being handled as a clear homicide investigation, with evidence collection, scene photography, and trace analysis conducted throughout every area surrounding where the 2 bodies were found. The significance of the incident occurring inside their own home could not be understated. This was a familiar place where the Reiner family had shared evenings together, welcomed guests, and hosted gatherings. The fact that their bodies were discovered in the living room or common area sent a chill through the public as they imagined the final moments endured there. Investigators noted that there were no signs of forced entry from outside, a detail that raised even more questions about what may have transpired before both lives came to an end. Forensic technicians immediately began examining the injuries and determined that they were severe and inconsistent with any form of household accident. Early investigative sources indicated that multiple deep wounds were documented across the bodies, not just a single injury, leading authorities to believe this was a deliberate and targeted assault. According to a source who spoke with Reuters, the atmosphere among investigators was more complex and serious than any natural death or domestic accident we have handled. Adding to the shock, a family member was reportedly questioned at an LAPD station, according to AP sources, a development that prompted the public to begin questioning the dynamics within the Reiner family. Investigators have refused to disclose the individual's identity or the content of their statements, but the revelation alone drew intense attention from both the media and the American public, At the scene, police found no indication that valuables or property had been taken, leading them to lean away from the theory of a burglary that escalated into violence and toward the possibility of a clearly motivated act. Each injury, according to sources, suggested significant force and determination, prompting criminology experts to raise multiple theories regarding the mindset and circumstances surrounding the incident. Just hours after authorities secured the scene, CNN and major media outlets, including the New York Times, BBC News, and Fox LA, began broadcasting live images from outside the home. Reporters described a steady flow of police personnel moving in and out, yellow tape lining the perimeter, and the familiar yet shaken faces of neighbors struggling to comprehend an event that left an entire city in disbelief. People living around the Brentwood area began whispering about the final days inside Rob Reiner's home, a place previously known for being so quiet that you could hear the night wind clearly. According to longtime residents, the change did not begin with police lights or media presence, but much earlier, through sounds that were impossible to ignore. One neighbor shared that in the days leading up to December 14th, the atmosphere around the house became unusually heavy. One neighbor said that in the days close to December 14th, the atmosphere surrounding the house felt markedly tense and unsettling. We heard loud arguments going on for a long time, not the kind of brief disagreement. There was something very intense about it. From these accounts, the name Nick Reiner, Rob Reiner's son, began appearing more frequently in discussions. According to several sources cited by People, Nick was invited by authorities to cooperate with the investigation, although there has been no official confirmation of any detention or allegation. Even so, the mere mention of his name was enough to draw public attention, especially when placed alongside what neighbors had described about signs of tension within the family beforehand. Curiosity quickly turned into scrutiny as Nick Reiner's past was brought back into focus. In an interview years earlier, Nick himself openly acknowledged a long struggle with substance dependency, beginning treatment at the age of 15. There were periods when he distanced himself from his family, lived unstably, and nearly severed all personal connections. At times, he left home following intense arguments, cutting off contact for months at a time, leaving his parents caught between fear and helplessness. Each relapse brought the family into crisis again. Late-night phone calls, parents searching for their child without knowing where he was, and long stretches inside that house, where the air felt stretched tight with the constant fear that this time might be the last. He even admitted to having spoken harshly to his parents, reacting aggressively when he felt controlled or advised. "At that time, I didn't think I was hurting them," he said. "I only thought I was being pushed into a corner." Details once viewed as a personal story of overcoming darkness are now, in the context of tragedy, being seen through an entirely different lens. On social media, theories continued to be pieced together. Some users referenced information suggesting that Nick had returned to Los Angeles and lived near his family for a short period before everything happened. Alongside this, more sensitive questions began to surface. Rob Reiner had 4 children, yet he had rarely spoken publicly about a will or plans for dividing his estate. With wealth accumulated over decades, from Los Angeles real estate to film rights and the value of his personal brand, some speculated that unspoken tensions related to inheritance may have existed for a long time, simply never brought into the open. At this point, everything remains at the level of accounts, speculation, and incomplete fragments. But for the neighbors who heard those unusual sounds in the night, one shared feeling still lingers. Meanwhile, another stream of attention continues to dissect every small detail, driven by the belief that the tragedy at the Brentwood home was not simply a random occurrence, especially for someone as polarizing as Rob Reiner. A group of online users believe that Rob Reiner's death cannot be separated from his image as a divisive public figure over many years, particularly in the political arena.